Hello everyone. Now we are going to look about Java variables. So what is meant by a variable? Variable means it is a place where you can store some data. Okay, let us take an example. Like you are having a box, and inside the box you are keeping a pen. In the sense, the box will tell us a variable because that box has an attributes, like it has a color and it has a storage capacity and it has a name called box. So it has many attributes, right? So in that sense, I can say that box as a variable, and it can hold some values on it. It may be a pen, pencil, or chalk piece, or rubber, eraser, anything it can be. Okay. So variable is a place where you can store some data. So it has unique identifiers also. Okay, here variables, where this kind of variables will be created and where it take up the storage in the computer perspective. In the sense, it takes the memory from the main memory. Okay, wow. When you are writing a program, it takes the memory from the secondary devices like hard disk and all. When it is on executing phase, when your program is in executing, the sense, your program will be converted into one machine level language. In the sense, your variables all will be bring and brought up into main memory. Okay, the main memory is nothing but your RAM memory. Okay, so at that time of a compilation or runtime, your variables will be created and the variables will be allocated with some values what you have specified in the program. Okay, so how do I define a variable in my program? In the sense, I should previously tell that compiler what is a variable name I should specify, and what kind of data type I'm going to store it in that variable. Okay, because variables, without variables, do we proceed with the programming languages? In the sense, it is completely impossible. In method, in function calling statement, class creation object, everything, it comes up with variables alone. For that purpose, we need to specify what kind of data type I am going to store in that variable. Okay, so first you have to tell the compiler what is a data type and what is the name of the variable, and value will be initialized through an operator called plus operator, sorry, equal to operator. It tells you are going to assign something. And what is this 50? In the sense, your value, what is the value you are going to store in that variable. So I think this you will be known everyone, because this is basic for all the programming languages, whereas in Python we don't specify this data type, it automatically assigns it, right? So but in Java we need to specify that. So next we come up with the three kinds of variables. I think this will be very little bit new to you guys, because the variable topic, whenever we start learning in other programming languages, it comes with the single statement like int a equal to 10, like that, right? But it comes with Java, you know that all the programming statements, even your main function, will be kept inside the class. Am I correct? So here, and security is the main aspects of your Java also. So your security concept inherited with OOPS concept of encapsulation. Am I correct, guys? So in the sense, how they all build up this particular object-oriented programming language, in the sense, create a template called class. Under the class, whatever the things you want to keep it in secure, do it there. So they made security features like that. Okay, so based on that kind, we have three kinds of variables. These three kinds of variables are different in behavior, where they have been defined, and what are the rights they have. Okay, because these are the two aspects. Because of these two aspects, these three variables get differed. Okay, One is local variable. Local variable in the sense a variable which is defined inside the function. A variable which is defined inside the function, we call it as a local variable. In the sense, the variables are created and destroyed when that particular function is called and work it off. Okay, whenever this particular function is called alone, the variable will be created, and at the end of that particular block statement gets ended. When the function gets ended, the variable get destroyed. Okay, so these kind of variables are called as local variables. Let me see one by one with an example, so for your better clarifications. So this is the simple example to tell about what is instant, static and local variables. So do you find this? Class A is nothing but new class has been created and the name of the class is A. Okay, and what are all this member of a class in the sense? Data is one variable and M is one variable and it has one function. A class has two variables and one member function. Okay, under the member function I have one variable and that variable is n. Okay, so as I told earlier, the local variables are created within a method or a function. If you see here, method is nothing but a function. Am I correct? Here, method are nothing but a function. So under that I have created a variable called n equal to 90. So you have created a variable under the function. Hence it is called as a local variable. Okay. Then what is instance variable, ma'am? In the sense, two things you should kept in the memory. A variable defined under a class but above the method, outside the method. A variable, you should find it out. Where is my class? Here is my class. Okay, here is my class. And where is my method opening and method closing? Here is my method opening and method closing. Okay, this blue color mark tells about your class closing and red color mark tells about your method closing. When I am creating a variable within my class but outside of my method, outside of my function, it tells that particular variable as a instant variable. So what is the speciality of this instant variable? In the sense, member of all the classes, member of the class can access at any time. Okay, member of the class can access at any time. So that is the key component of your instant variable. Okay, and when it comes to static variable, so what is static variable? In the sense, it comes with the part called memory. Okay, static deals with static memories. Okay, You know that when I taught about object oriented programming languages, I have narrated that objects will have unique memory space. Am I correct? Objects will have unique memory space. In our example, we have chosen a class called dog, and we have objects called four objects: dog 1, dog 2, dog 3 and dog 4, and the value of all the four objects are different. Am I right? So dog 1 will be of Pomerian, dog 2 will be of German Shepherd, dog 3 of Golden Rivet. Like that, the variables get changed, but they have their different memory space. So they are able to store their own values in their objects. But when you have defined that particular variables as an static, in the sense, what happens in the sense, when I'm creating object 2, it will rename the value of object 1. For example, the Pomerian will be replaced by the German Shepherd. So this is what happens with static. Okay, because it doesn't have any copy of memory spaces, it have only one copy. You can make changes among that. So that is static variable. Just to understand, your local variables are within your function, instance variables are outside your function but within the class, and static variables you will be having a keyword called static. Let me have an example for each one of things. So as I told earlier, the local variables are declared in methods, and local variables are created when the method is entered. Local variables are created when the method is entered and destroyed when it get existed. Okay, wow. And last line you should kept in the memory. This is the new one when it compares with other programming languages. So this is the very important point, because the local variables, we don't have any default value. Okay, we don't have any default value. For that purpose, in programming language of a Java, if you are defining a local variable, in the sense, you are need to initialize that variable also. It is mandatory. Okay, there is no default variable for local variables. So the local variable should be declared and the initial value should be assigned before it is used. So let me check with the program. Yeah, this is one simple program. What happens? This is the exact and correct program for your local variable. Now you should able to identify what is my local variable. Okay, could you able to identify that? Yes, I have been highlighted in a pink color. Int age equal to 0. Okay, what is this age equal to 0, ma'am? So how do I say this particular age variable as an local variable, ma'am? It tells the reason out. Okay, it tells the definition where this particular variable has been located. So think this is one flower bracket and this is one flower bracket. So what is this flower bracket tells about means, it is the start of my method my age. It is the start of my method my age. So method in the sense function. So where is the local variable will be located? All my local variables will be located inside of the function. Okay, so inside of the function, in the sense, it is within the blocks. So there only age method is there. So I have been calling this age variable as a local variable. Okay, ma'am. One more point we have insisted to be kept in the memory. So what is that, ma'am? In the sense, the local variable doesn't have any default values. So you need to initialize that variable. Okay. So that only I have given equal to 0. Okay, I have initialized my local variable with 0 value at first. Okay, now let us see the working principle of this particular program. Okay, so everything I have kept within the class, or my classes get closed. Yes, everything I have kept within my class. So this is my class. Let me have some light colors for your visibilities. So here is one open and here is one open. So this tells about your class opening and close. So under that I have one method called age and my void main. So always your compilation starts from here. So it comes here and I have create what is my class name is test, and I have created an object called a small test. Okay. um, and new test. This particular line I will teach when I come with constructor. Okay. If I taught directly you couldn't understand, but you have know what is this new keyword is means. New in the sense, new is an operator for creating variables, instant variables. Okay. So test dot my age. So object dot a method call. Okay, this is how you need to call your methods. Okay, what happens in the sense, this test dot my age, test is my object. Okay, let me have some, this is my uh, test object. Okay, under the test, if I'm creating an object called test அப்படின்னா, it takes the parameters of my class. So what are all my parameters means, under the class I have a method called age. Method called age. I have this age function. Okay, so test dot my age, your control comes to here. This part your control is there. Okay, when it comes to here, I have created a small memory. I have created a small memory. I have created a small memory. This red part tells about my variable age. Okay, initial with a 0. Then I have given a formula called age equal to age plus 7. Okay, so now my arithmetic operation works out here. So initially it is 0 and 0 plus 7 is equal to 7. Is equal to 7. So age value is now stored it as 7 now. Okay, next is nothing but your println statement. It send out your value. The value sent is nothing but your 7. So your storage of age is allocated when a function is called. Okay, this is called your local variable. So now your output is printed as age equal to 7. So what happens if I have not initialized with a value equal to 0 அப்படின்னா, it comes with your this part. Okay, it will be, sorry, it will be ended with an error. Okay, what kind of error அப்படின்னா, variable number might not have been initiated. This is the error you will be find it out. Okay, so we can move into next type of a variable, that is instant variable. So instant variable means it is declared inside the class but outside the method. Okay, okay, when this particular instant variable will be created in the sense, when an object is created. Okay, this particular variables will be created, and when the object is destroyed, these variables also get destroyed. Okay, let me see, this is, here I have a class called employee. Under the employee, this is your starting class and this is your ending class. So under the employee, I have two variables. One is name and another one is salary. Okay, both are instance variable in the sense they have defined inside my class but before my method. So where is my method? So public employee, do you find here? Public employee string emp name. It has open and close, right? So I am stating it as function. but it has a stipulated meaning. Let me come after the explanation of your instant variable. So instant variable in the sense it is defined within the class but outside my method. Okay, wow. Here employee is a method. It starts here and ended here. Okay, I also have one more method called set salary. Here also it started and ended, and one more function called print employee. Okay, and it also started and ended. Okay, still then I have not finded out my class ending bracket. Okay, uh, and then I'm finding out my public static void main. I have set of statements, and finally I am matching my class parenthesis here. I am matching this class close parenthesis here. This is my class get closed. Okay, so I have two variables called name and salary. Both are belongs to my instance variable because they are defined inside my class but outside of the method. Okay, wow. So they are called as instance classes. So how do I initialize, how do I use this variable? In the sense, through the method I can initialize the values. In previous class, in local variables, what we have done abdina, when creating the variable itself, we have initialized the value equal to 0. Then we have used that variable. Correct? Age equal to age plus 7. But in case of instant variable, these variables can be assigned the values through only methods. So why this only method? In the sense, it brings the security feature of your Java. In the sense, only the member of the class can access the methods in the class. Okay, so only the objects can create a storage space in your computer. So this brings your security features in Java. So before, when I'm teaching you about this employee class, I will tell you there is a little bit clarification. So I come to this point. Why this employee is highlighted here? In the sense, you could find the class name and your method name as a same name. Am I correct? Your class name is also an employee, but this is a method, right? But this is also same. So this is a new concept in object oriented programming, that is called constructor. So constructor is also a method, but this particular method doesn't need of any object creation. It is called automatically whenever the objects is created. This particular function doesn't require any calling statement in your program. So it calls automatically when your objects is created. Thus this is what you call it as constructor class. Then how should I identify this, ma'am? You are telling that without the prompt of a calling statement this particular function is going to get executed. No, ma'am. How this compiler know? So through this name alone it knows. Okay. Though the class name and the function names are same, the compiler understood that this is a constructor. So that I should call this particular function first, then only I should proceed for the forthcoming statements in my main block. Okay, wow. So let me tell you first one and one about the explanation of this program. Okay, so let me start with your void main. Under the void main, employee is a class data type. So class name is employee and emp1 is my object. So I'm going to create an object named emp1. So this is my object. And what is the um, features means of a class this employee? So this object belongs to employee class, no? So it has two variables, name and salary. Name and salary. And what are all the function it has, Abdina? Employee, sorry, I'm writing in short for and set salary and print salary. So everything is of functions. Okay, let me write the function names with the different colors so that you will be understanding. So first function is employee, and second function is set salary, and another one is set print function. So these are the uh, member functions available for the objects emp1. Okay, do you clear that? But still now I have not assigned any value to this thing. So how should I assign? Means by calling these functions alone I could do this. So let me start with this line. Okay, so emp1 equal to new employee. So employee Ranshika, right? Example, this is the calling statement. Okay, you should know, you know that class name is same as your function name, right? So employee is my function, so it calls your this function employee function, and it takes the argument of emp name with a value of Rangshika. Now emp will be assigned with Rangshika. um, just keep it in memory. I'm going to erase all the structures. Okay, now this Ranshika, this particular statement will call this particular function Ra. So according to this, the emp name will be assigned with Ranshika. So Ranshika will be assigned to name. So what is this name abdina? Names comes with instance variable. Okay, names comes with instant variable. Likewise, I have called one more function emp1.setSalary1000. So what is setSalary means? It is again one more function call. It comes here. setSalary value is assigned with 1000. Okay, so again emp salary will be assigned with instance variable called salary. Okay, then finally one more function called to call this particular print employee. So here I'm going to print my instance variable. So agenda of this particular program is what? You can create a variable within a class, but how you will use this particular variable and how you will assign the value to the variable in the sense through the methods. Okay, in the method you will be having a dummy variable, and inside the block of that function you will be assigning this dummy variable with the class variable, that is instant variable. So that is the agenda of your instance variable. And last, finally, we are looking into static variable. Here, as I told you, this is also created within the class but outside the method, but with a keyword called static. So main difference in the sense, let me give you simple example. These are two objects having different uh, memory space. In the sense, a is a variable, this is obj1 and this is obj2. Okay, obj2 in the sense, if you are trying to assign the value with a equal to here 10, a equal to here 10, here a equal to 10 and here equal to 20 abdina, it will store as it is. If you specify this particular variable a as a static in your program, then the separate memory is not created. Okay, single common memory space a is created. Okay, first time it will be of 10. When another object is trying to store with the value of 20, in the sense it erases the value of 10 and it will store it in the 20. So that is the agenda of your static variables.